What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and the stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a lot going on here in our country, and we have multiple states here in this video that are proposing and announcing new stimulus relief measures for their residents, and the federal government is also considering multiple different stimulus check bills to combat inflation here. And this comes as we actually might be seeing food costs go higher. We've obviously been seeing not only gas, but everything go up. And we're starting to see food costs go up even higher. And this is because Ukraine is actually a major producer of multiple different sources of food in the world. Believe it or not, and they're an exporter. Just like as we've seen oil and gas from Russia, they're a large producer of gasoline and oil. And when you have that be exacerbated here, just the threat of that under threat in the world, you see the price of that go up. And we're seeing the price of gas go up everywhere in the world. If you watch my recent video, you've seen the price of gas for a gallon of gas in the United Kingdom is $8 a gallon. In Hong Kong, it's $10 a gallon. In the Australia, it's $8 a gallon as well. So price of gas is up everywhere because remember, the price of oil is global. It's not just here in the US. Same thing for the price of food. And while Ukraine is one of the largest producers of multiple different sources of food, this could be causing one, food increases for the US and the world, and food shortages coming soon. Check this out.
There's a reason Ukraine is nicknamed the breadbasket of Europe. The country produces about 10% of the entire world's wheat, 14% of the world's corn, and half of its sunflower oil. And as Jacob Soboroff found in western Ukraine, all of that is now under threat because of the Russian invasion.
As soon as we got outside Lviv city center, the landscape looked familiar, like the American heartland. But there was one key difference.
You see checkpoints like this everywhere you go in this country, and if you thought people might feel more relaxed or comfortable in a rural community, you're wrong. All we got around here is farms everywhere you look.
Not far away, we were greeted by family farm owners Zinovy Maximoshin and his daughter Maria Samolyenko. Their 21,000-acre farm is considered medium-sized for Ukraine. 10 days ago, Ukrainian President Zelensky encouraged farmers not to flee, to carry on with their work amid the war, saying, "It's about our victory."
You consider the men who drive the trucks like this as important as the soldiers on the front lines?
That's true, Zinovy says. This is our battlefield. We have to make sure our country and other countries have something to eat. Ukraine owes its agricultural productivity to its soil, and it has a name of its own.
I've never heard the term chernozem before.
This is very nutritious soil, he says. It's what makes Ukraine the world's largest exporter of sunflower oil, and among the top 10 exporters of grain and corn.
Oh, it's nice.
All of a sudden, what seems like a sanctuary from the war, invaded by a sound in the sky.
Hey, keep looking. Listen. Is that a fighter jet?
It's most likely a military plane, he tells me, unsure if it's Ukrainian or Russian.
When you hear a plane like that, what do you think?
I'm anxious, says Zinovy, but we have to do our work. Back on the farm, in front of a pile of soybeans they plan to export to Europe, it's clear why.
Russia is already hitting warehouses that are storage for food in Kyiv. We've already seen it. Could something like this be a target as well?
We can expect anything from these people, he says.
You have a 3-year-old son. It's his grandchild.
Yes.
What will you tell your son about the war?
I just pray to God for my son not to see the explosions, not to see what the war looks like, Maria says. Her father wanted to say something too. I want my grandchild, when he grows up, to be proud of how we handled the situation, that we stayed here and worked really hard for the victory.
Yeah, and if you've noticed prices at the grocery store going up, there's another thing that you might not have noticed that a lot of food producers have been trying to slip one over on you. That's right. Check this out. That's because major food producers that pretty much are coming from what I understand, almost all major companies are reducing the size of their food, but not really telling us and keeping the price the same, or maybe even increasing the price and reducing the size of their cartons or the size of the product. Here's a couple examples, and if you don't look closely, you might not notice this. This is all kind of the cost of rising inflation. Check this out. They call this shrinkflation because they're shrinking the size of this. So you can see here Bounty paper towels reduced from 165 sheets to 147 sheets here just before the end of the year, which is 3 fewer sheets per roll and 18 fewer uses. You can see here Crest 3D white toothpaste went from 4.1 ounces to 3.8 ounces, which is a little bit more than 10% less. Doritos, 9.75 ounces to 9.25 ounces. So almost 10% less there as well on Doritos. Wheat Thin went from 16 ounces to 14 ounces. Wheat Thin's family size. So again, that is a little bit more than 10% less. So yeah, a lot of these different things here, you might not even notice the size difference, but products like this are reducing their size all across the board. Frito-Lay confirmed Doritos shrunk their bags due to pandemic pressures. They said, quote, inflation is hitting everyone. We just took a little bit out of the bag so we can give you the same price and you can keep enjoying your chips, as opposed to, I guess, raising the price. But they may still have to do that in the future, said a representative. Representatives at Procter and Gamble, which make Crest toothpaste, and Mondelez, which make Nabisco wheat thins, confirmed reductions in their products' volumes, but did not disclose the reasons why. And I'll take myself out of the corner here for a second. You can see a Gatorade bottle here reduces their Gatorade bottle. The left one here is the original size, 32 ounces. The new one is 28 ounces, so a reduction of 4 ounces, which is over 10% reduction, yet the same price. So this is that's actually a 14% decrease in size, they say here. So unfortunately, this is just another way that inflation is kind of biting into all of us, unfortunately. And this is kind of why everybody is feeling not just pain at the pump, but pain at the grocery stores as well. And let me know your thoughts in the comments if you've been feeling it at the when you go to the grocery store and you're seeing an increase in cost. You may not have really realized that you're actually getting less food as well. You go to spend $100, and now that $100 might be $120 or something like that or more. And but you might not have realized that you're actually coming away with less food as well. It's kind of a sneaky little thing that a lot of manufacturers are doing, but it doesn't really look like it's just certain manufacturers. It looked like it might be a lot of manufacturers across the board. And I don't really think it's the manufacturers that are like I think it's just because everything has gone up in price. It's just kind of a one way of trying to deal with the price increases. As you just seen from the previous video, the price of corn's going up, the price of wheat is going up, the price of flour is going up. So when you go to say make chips, the ingredients has gone up, so it costs more. So one of the way they can do it, as opposed to maybe raising the price, is they can reduce the size as well. Now, some manufacturers may need to do both. They may need to raise the price a little and reduce the size a little, but keep that in mind. We also kind of all or maybe you never thought about it, but some people probably think about it. It just depends on the kind of person you are. You ever go to grab that bag of chips and you know how half the bag is full and half the bag is filled with air? Yeah, that half bag of air is also a kind of way of inflation as well. It looks like a big old bag of chips, and then you open it, and it's like half full. Yeah, unfortunately. So you feel like you're getting a big old bag of chips, and you're really getting a half bag of chips. That's kind of been like that way for a while, but it's just kind of it makes you feel like you're getting a big bag of chips, but you're not really getting a big bag of chips. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts on all this. And it's just kind of a sad reality of inflation. A sad reality of inflation. Meanwhile, in addition to what we've been covering here, if you've been watching my show, we have multiple different bills here on the federal level. We also, for stimulus checks and gas tax relief and putting money in your pockets, we also have multiple different states considering it as well. You can see here House Republicans calling for inflation relief bills to be considered. Well, this one for the state of Illinois. Prices at the pump are climbing and in the grocery store checkout lane. Yeah. And some Republican lawmakers are calling for their bills providing tax relief to be considered in the state of Illinois. I've had a lot of people asking about Illinois. Again, I'm not picking and choosing states. I'm just kind of letting you know when I find out about each state. Lawmakers are promoting a bill that would freeze the Illinois state sales tax on gasoline at 18 cents per gallon for regular fuel. The tax currently sits at 25 cents per gallon and could go up as prices increase. The governor, J.B. Pritzker, proposed freezes on raising the gas tax and the grocery tax in his budget for the next year. However, Representatives Tom Dremmer and all these different representatives argue that more should be done sooner. So they are considering trying to get help out to residents of Illinois. Even since the governor's address earlier in January, gas prices have risen. The average price a month ago was $3.68, and it's now $4.54. Inflation's at its highest rate since it has been in 40 years. They argue these policies would help relieving struggling Illinois residents from rising costs. Representatives on border districts say it's no secret that residents cross state lines to go get fuel and food in a state where the taxes are cheaper. Ouch. Across the river from my district is St. Louis. It is not uncommon to see gas prices in Missouri anywhere from 50 cents to 70 cents a gallon cheaper than Illinois on a given day. Not looking good there, Illinois. This is your own representative saying that. Ouch. They said, in terms of exploring other ways to ease financially struggling families, such as raising the minimum wage, they also said they want to focus on tax relief. Quote, we need to think about what we can do to respond to very significant and quick surges in prices. I mean, this inflation rate has happened very quickly and it's affected prices immediately. Also, in the state of Tennessee, Democrats are calling upon Governor Bill Lee to put a 90-day freeze on gas taxes amid the rising price of oil in Tennessee. Representative John Ray Clemens and Bo Mitchell held a news conference Tuesday morning asking Governor Lee to place a 90-day moratorium on gas and diesel taxes. They say that Governor Lee could take such action through a executive order on the state level. Governors can do that as well. The budget implementation bill that has yet to be finalized, or through a standalone bill as well. While this may require a financial sacrifice temporarily or on behalf of our state, we think this is a signal and a strong investment in democracy abroad. According to Representative Mitchell, each year the state's gas tax brings in roughly $900 million. Whew, that's almost $1 billion a year. The 90-day moratorium would cost the state roughly $224 million, something he feels the state could afford considering Tennessee's recent years of financial surplus. Quote, many families are just now recovering from the pandemic, being out of work, and they just don't need this extra cost put upon them. So putting this extra $224 million back into families' pockets will ease the pain for many Tennesseans and the state with the surplus we've had over the last few years. We can easily afford this for Tennessee families. The Tennessee current gas tax is 27.4 cents per gallon. Governor Lee's office said, a spokeswoman said that we look forward to hearing the details about the proposal. Okay. Remember that Maryland and Georgia just paused their gas tax in the state, and Florida. Florida's not getting a lot of press um, publicly because theirs doesn't go into effect until October. So they've paused it, but they're going to make their residents wait 7 months. So it doesn't really go into effect until a month before the election. So their governor's going to make everybody wait. So, yeah, other states, including New York, also weighing whether to suspend taxes on gasoline. California is considering $400 rebate checks per person, which would be $800 per couple. And we've had a lot of other states considering actual stimulus checks, and the federal government considering stimulus checks nationally, as I've been reporting here. I'll link you to videos I just did here yesterday on this as well. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. Right now, it's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos. Remember that new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After subscribing, click the bell icon to get reminders. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And this is the video where we go over those monthly stimulus checks that the federal government has just proposed. Really good info in that video. If you haven't watched that, click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.